Also had the privilege of having two Black Hawk helicopters here from the National Guard. They were assisting our aerial forces. So again, kudos to the Air National Guard. Thank you for all your support. As it stands now, we have 4 structures still threatened. Those structures are on the other side of Wells Mills Road, and they are out in the forest. We have resources out there continuing to monitor the process of the fire and the progress, and hopefully sometime tomorrow they will no longer be threatened. So a lot of folks are still seeing smoke. A lot of the smoke has to do with the interior burning that is occurring within our containment lines. This is a good thing. The fire is consuming the unburned fuels, and once that's completed and those unburned fuels burn up, we should see the smoke subside. Now you're going to see little smokes along the road and things like that there. And, you know, our folks are going out there and they're mopping them up. So this is probably going to continue, at least burning little fires and some smoke up till we get the rain that's forecasted for Saturday. So, you know, folks need not worry. Those big smoke columns are a good thing. You know, our objective is to remove all the unburned fuel within our containment line. So we see that occurring. That we want to mention, we've had a lot of drone activity in the area. We need folks to please stop flying drones in the area. When these drones are flying, we're unable to fly. And therefore, if we're unable to fly, the helicopters are not able to, you know, put the hot spots out. Our observation helicopters not able to be in the air, keeping an eye on the fire's progress. So it's important that we get the message out there that there are no drones. Going forward, the plan is, it was today. You know, we're going to have resources out here 24 hours a day. We're going to continue to monitor the interior where the fuel's being burned up, and we will continue to mop up along the roads and highways. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Prosecutor Billheimer. Come on up.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'd like to facing the podium towards the sun. I want to acknowledge I had a conversation with DEP Commissioner Sean LaTourette this morning. He apologizes that he couldn't attend today. I want to thank him for his cooperation. I want to commend Chief Donnelly and the Fire Service Commission, the State Fire Service, for their cooperation, for their help and their collaboration. This is certainly a massive event, and without their assistance, the Ocean County Sheriff's Office, the New Jersey State Police, the Ocean County Sheriff's Office Crime Scene Investigation Unit, all of our local police departments, specifically Waretown, Chief Rogalski, that's Ocean Township for those of you that are not familiar. Chief Rogalski is standing behind us, Chief Carroll. For their diligent help. I want to acknowledge our Ocean County Prosecutor's Office Major Crime Unit, our Arson Environmental Squad, who have worked closely with detectives from Waretown to arrest an individual. As you're all aware, we have made an arrest. We'll get to that in a minute. I just want to acknowledge all the people to bring this defendant to justice. I want to thank all of our EMS, all of our fire service personnel, all of our volunteers that have been out here working tirelessly to keep our residents safe. The patience of the community, I want to thank everyone that was evacuated, those that lost power. It's been a trying 3 or 4 days, and our communities have responded. All the local police departments that responded with mutual aid, I want to thank them for their assistance. It really makes Ocean County a special place. I want to thank the Ocean County Board of Commissioners for their support. They've been fantastic to us, and I know everybody wants to get to really the press release that was issued this morning, so we can do that now. I should probably start by saying this is an ongoing and active investigation, so there's some details that I will not be able to discuss here publicly, as we're still tying up some loose ends on this investigation. But we did arrest a 19-year-old young man from Waretown. His name is Joseph Kling. We believe he is the person responsible for starting this fire, and we intend to prosecute him to the fullest extent of the law. As for that, I'm sure you might have some questions.
How do you identify him as a suspect?
We used some investigative techniques. I can say publicly that we were able to place him at the scene, and we have some witness statements that corroborate that. Can somebody go, like, who's in charge?
How confident are you that this was intentionally set rather than an accidental starting of a fire? And how do you know that?
Very confident.
Has he admitted?
I can't discuss that at this time. I'm
Is
sorry.
he in house, sir? Do you know, can you discuss his living circumstances? Whether
He lives, he lives in a home.
Prosecutor, there is a video out of him with a group of individuals suggesting it might have been that night. You can see a bonfire in the back. Is that from that event that night?
We're in receipt of that video. We have that video. We're going to track it down, but we do not believe that it was from the night before the fire or the night of the fire. They're wearing, hoodies. It looks like it was a lot colder out, but we have a high-tech crime unit at the prosecutor's office. We're going to track that video down, and we'll be able to tell you in the future.
Could you talk about the origin of the fire?
Why don't we just go from, like, left to right? Maybe somebody could... Oh, we have more people. We're not even doing questions yet. I started too soon. We have more people that are going to speak, and we'll get to you. I'm sorry. I overstepped. Who am I supposed to introduce?
Lacey Township Mayor.
Lacey Township Mayor. Come on up.
Waretown.
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 Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you being here. On behalf of myself and the entire Township Committee of Waretown, Township of Ocean, we extend our deepest gratitude and heartfelt thanks to everyone who responded to the Jones Fire incident. At the peak of the incident, we had over 4,000 people evacuated from Waretown. Our police department, our EMS, helped all the seniors in senior villages and apartments get out very safely and swiftly. My family is one of those who were evacuated also. All roads are now open. All the evacuation orders are all lifted. The fire still goes on, as you heard before. I won't say that again. We're grateful to our dedicated first responders here in our township, as well as the neighboring communities and partners. Our state, local, and county partners, we're very grateful for all their assistance. Police departments, fire companies, first aid squads, dispatchers, New Jersey Forest Fire Service, Ocean County, and state agencies, as well as many others. I'd like to acknowledge our Chief, Michael Rogowski, Ocean County Prosecutor Bradley Billmeyer, New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Commission Sean LaTourette, and their departments on their thorough and extensive investigation and apprehension of the arsonist in the Jones Road fire. Again, on behalf of myself and all the residents of Waretown, please accept our sincere appreciation for everyone's services who helped our town out. We acknowledge your continued support regarding the Jones Road fire. On a personal note, I'd also like to thank our clerk and administrator, Diana Ambrosio, for her tireless efforts in helping us through this event, as well as our Chief Rogowski. Thank you. Don't ask me questions. Yeah.
All right, Lacey Township Mayor.
From our neighbors to the south in Waretown, Ocean Township. But for the efforts, I'm going to talk to you first just as a dad, not a mayor. The efforts of the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office and Prosecutor Bill Heimer in not only protecting us, but the efforts that he puts out in our schools for prevention. I'm grateful on many, many levels. Again, as a municipal leader and a dad. Township has been nothing short of stellar. I can still report to you, as 14,000 acres have been burned. We have not had one loss of life. We have not had one loss of single-family structure in Lacey Township. And we haven't even had a report of an injury by any of our first responders. So the way that our police chief, Chief Kenny, our township committee, our administrator LeRae, with the support of our 9th District and Senator Romano, Assemblyman Rumpf, Assemblyman Meyer, and our neighboring mayors, when I tell you my phone was blowing up, Pete, what do you need? Pete, how can we help you? Through OEM, mutual service aid, it was overwhelming, and the results are we lost no one. We lost no single-family homes. We did lose a major business and with that business, and we're grateful to everyone who has outreached us. There was a question about the homeless population. I can tell you with certainty, being a county employee, that our county takes very seriously the situation of unhomed individuals, and the Board of Social Service has no shortage of resources to help those individuals at every level. When it gets too hot out, we have cooling centers. So those individuals are being cared for, and per our chief, none of those individuals were injured, which is great. What's the tragedy? The tragedy is the loss of 14,000 acres of natural wildlife refuge. We have Popcorn Park Zoo in the western part of our town. That's an animal sanctuary. I'll be talking with them shortly. I was going door to door. Just like, this is what you do in these times. And you behind you, and you're very grateful for it when you receive it. So to all of you that helped get this message out, if anyone has questions, the last thing we want in an incident command structure is to have somebody flying around hot on a rumor mill. For my town, LaceyTownship.org, I have a prepared statement there, pathways for interventions if you need help. The DEP website is on there. The Ocean County Health Department website is on there. Experiencing some breathing trouble. And again, to everyone behind me, so grateful, heartfelt thanks, and God bless all of you.
All right, now we'll do questions. Like I said, we're going to go from left to right. Wayne, anything? Okay. CBS, anything?
Do you have any concerns about containment around the nuclear power plant?
No, we have fire which has burned right up to the nuclear plant. However, that fire is out, best we can tell, and we are keeping folks in the area to continue to monitor that. So in the event anything should start to smoke or smolder, we'll have resources in place to deal with it immediately.
All right, going down the line. Trish?
For the prosecutor, and I think somebody may have asked this before, but do you believe that Kling acted alone?
I can't say at this time. I'm sorry, and I don't want to keep repeating it, but I don't want to compromise the hard work of the men and women behind me and the integrity of the investigation at this time. We're still going to go left to right, so we already went left. We're going left again.
Check on the story, but you said that you're very confident that you set this intentionally. Is there a motive behind why he would do something like that?
I'm not prepared to discuss a motive at this time, nor does the state have to prove what the motive is. We can just confidently say that we think the fire was set intentionally.
Prosecutor,
We're all the way to the right now. That means we're all done.
News 12 is next.
Who's in charge of this?
reference the video you're in receipt of, do you know that Kling is the one seen in the video?
We know from the same way you know, just by looking at it, it looks like Kling. But the information we received is that that's probably from a much earlier time, maybe in the fall.
And for the thousands who were inconvenienced by this, power outages, frightened to evacuate, is there a message to them now that you are accusing somebody of, doing this on purpose and inconveniencing thousands? What's the message to them?
Absolutely. I want to thank them for their patience, and I can tell you that I was one of the thousands without power. I thank them for their patience, and I ask them to trust the process and let us complete our investigation, and we will hold the person or persons responsible accountable.
Right.
Just going back to the video.
Yes, sir.
In that video,
there's a bunch of people in that video. We're going to work to identify those people, get a time and date on that video, and our high-tech crime unit is already working on that.
Is the area where the fire is believed to have started, is it open to the public?
Well, the forest is technically not, I mean, it's a public land, I guess you would say.
True, but it's dusk till dawn, so nobody should be back there in the dark.
Yeah.
On Fish and Wildlife property.
There you go.
All right, so I think we still got to go this way.
So, one big charge, it just said aggravated arson and arson. Are there any degrees to that, or is there something in New Jersey law that says it's just arson or it's just...
No, that's a good question. The first charge is aggravated arson. That's a second-degree crime punishable by up to 10 years in prison. The second charge is just a straight arson. That's a third-degree crime punishable by 3 to 5 years in prison.
Going into...
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Oh, that's okay. Thank you. Back to the left.
There we go. We should finish the left.
With regard to where he lives and the location of the fire, can you talk about the distance from his home to how deep into the forest the fire was actually set?
The fire wasn't set. I can't talk about the relation to where he lives. I can tell you that he did live in a home. His parents live in the home as well. But the fire was not set that far back into the forest.
There's been reports that Wayne might have been with people and that someone with him at the time actually set the fire as opposed to him. Is that something you guys have seen in your investigation looking into, or you guys are certain that he's sole suspect?
Well, like I said, it's an ongoing investigation, and we're certainly open to charging individuals that we think are responsible for setting the fire. Right now, at this time, we're confident that Joseph Kling started the fire.
When and where was he taken into custody?
He was taken into custody yesterday, I believe, in Waretown, at the police station, then transported to the Ocean County Jail. Yesterday afternoon, late in the afternoon.
Did he turn himself in?
No, we went and arrested him.
Was he, the fire, when you guys found it, did you say definitely that it wasn't like a fire that was lit to enjoy and then it continued burning the extinguish, or was it lit on purpose?
Prosecutor,
The fire was 35 acres in size when it started.
Well, that's not true. When it started, the fire was about that big, I'm sure.
So what I'm saying-
And then it went undetected for...
Once the state put out a message that we are the fire, and then I believe one of the first messages is about 35, it's about 15,000. Is there a way, or looking back, obviously it's 2020, but is there a way to look back and be like, is there something we could have done differently? Do you think that stuff is just happening quickly? Why did
Who's
it
we?
get from hundreds of acres to thousands?
Well, the fire behavior on that particular day, following the fire being started, became very chaotic. You'll notice the winds started to blow, humidity was down, so the fire began to rapidly spread. And for those of you who weren't here yesterday, New Jersey has some of the most volatile wildland fuels in the country. So once a fire like that gets established, there's no actual catching it, if you will. You try to head it off at the pass, and we do that with some backfiring and trying to build a containment line ahead of it. And we just could not get far enough ahead of this that we were able to actually keep it in check. So the Forest Fire Service, us, you, me, there was nothing else we could do. That fire, we did everything we possibly could to try to stop that fire. And that fire only stopped when it was good and ready. And we saw that. It ended on the other side of, east side of Route 9. And that's basically because it ran into some water.
Prosecutor, I think had an arrest so quickly in a fire this large. Could you give us just a high-level explanation of some of the technology that might be behind some of this investigation, and maybe what the fire origin scene looked like to the eye?
I can't speak to the fire origin scene. I'll leave that to the experts and our arson detectives that were out there, and of course the State Fire Service. The first part of your question was? There was some technology that was involved, the GPS coordinates we were able to establish, and that really led us to Joseph Kling and some of the witnesses that we were able to find. But that's the technology. I can't go into it much further, though. But I appreciate the question. It's a good question. We've done the left.
No, I was just going to ask you, with regard to the fire, you looked when the fire started that it was going to move east.
Right.
You know, and I could see it coming from where I was. What made the fire go north? What towards Lacey County?
That's a question
Well,
for you, Chief.
that most of that is dependent on the fuel load, but specifically the wind direction. You know, once a fire gets established and starts to burn, that it was, believe it or not, a fire like that starts to create its own weather, you know, through convection. And as that fire goes up, it pulls air in from underneath and just explosion, if you will. So at that point, it goes in almost a 360-degree angle. So with that being said, you know, our folks were trying to come down this road, and we had a couple spots, you know, because you have to stay with this fire the whole time we're moving along, trying to keep up with it. And we just weren't able to keep up with it that day because of just how erratic the fire behavior was.
We were able to see video of a state fire truck being driven away on a tow truck. Was there damage to state property, fire trucks, or other?
Yes, we had a, you know, quite a few of our trucks were damaged, believe it or not. The fire's hot, and our guys are right there, guys and girls are right there, right next to the fire, doing everything they can to put it out or knock it down, slow it up. So our trucks take abuse during these type of events. We put on fire. We melted some door panels, our door stickers. We melted some mirrors, cracked some glass. So, you know, the trucks take a lot of abuse, but that's what we design them for. That's those guys' lifeline. They know how to use them, and occasionally that kind of stuff happens.
There were no injuries associated with any of this?
Not that I'm aware of, no. No injuries to any first responders, any members of the Forest Fire Service. The ones who were lucky they didn't get injured were the police officers out there dodging traffic, because that was a pretty crazy environment out there. So those are the guys that needed to keep their head on a swivel, that's for sure.
One more, probably know what you're going to say, but apologies if you answered this already. Don't want to get into the semantics of it, but are you saying he intentionally set the fire to start a wildfire, or he intentionally set it to be a bonfire?
I didn't say he intentionally set it to be a wildfire. I said we're confident that he intentionally set a fire, to be clear.
Set a fire.
Correct.
Okay.
So you're not saying you're not saying the motive, you're just saying that he did it, or he started the fire.
We know that he started the fire.
Gotcha.
We're confident in that.
Prosecutor, is there a message here to anyone else who might be using the Pine Barrens here?
Absolutely.
It's, you know, obviously it's a lot of fuel out there. What's the message in this arrest?
The message in this arrest, and the message for everybody, and instead of going on social media and looking at these videos of a bonfire from maybe 2 or 3 months ago, is to have a conversation with your kids that starting a fire out in the woods when the conditions are dry and in the forest could lead to widespread damage, loss of life, loss of property, and potentially criminal charges. It's a very dangerous thing, and you know, we were taught as kids not to play with fire, but starting a fire in a forest is such a dangerous thing. And all these men and women behind me, all the ones that are still out there working on this fire, you're putting their lives at risk, you know, and it's a very dangerous thing, and it'll be taken very seriously, not just in Ocean County, but in any jurisdiction in New Jersey. Oh, so close.
Anyone else for the back that up? The evacuation was chaotic, and the standstill crashed on the line. Obviously, the park was shut down. Is there a solution, or going forward, is there a better way, maybe, or is this the way for evacuation in this type of environment?
I'm not sure that that's a question for me, but you have to, I guess, understand what a massive undertaking it is to relocate and evacuate people from their homes. I don't know that any roadway or any system of travel is going to be equipped to handle that many travelers. I know my wife and my daughter took an hour and a half to get home that day with fair warning that there was a fire. So I certainly understand, but I don't know if anybody else wants to speak to that. Any of our elected officials? We have a mayor stepping up.
Regarding the evacuation, people, Route 9 closed both ways, Parkway closed both ways. You do the best you can. No one thought of this scenario. You could not get out of Waretown to Barnegat, which is the next town. Traffic was stopped. And our chief did a stellar job of redirecting the traffic, having the state reopen the parkway so everyone can evacuate south. Without that, people would be still on Route 9. But there's this kind of circumstance you can't prepare for. It was like preparing for Sandy. We couldn't do it either. So they all did an outstanding job, especially our police officers and sheriffs directing traffic. It was hell out there. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
We're good?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
This has been breaking.
This is CBS News, New York.
Turning to the death